So let's start, guys. Now, in this topic, we are going to discuss about work documents, audit records, quality review, and documenting the quality review. All right. So, guys, today we are going to discuss about you can say that how your working document should be created. All right. How your you can say audit record should be maintained. What will be the discussion with the management of the audit team, that will be including the audit team leader. All right. Apart from that, we'll be discussing about certification recommendations, and what are the recommendations for certifications. All right. How you are going to prepare audit conclusions, what kind of information will be shared between the auditor and the auditee. All right. All these kind of things we are going to discuss. All right. So before starting, guys, let me just quickly go ahead and so talking about completing the work documents, guys. All right. Now the first thing that we have to discuss is in documentation of audit and quality review is how you are going to complete the work document. So completing the work document, guys, you will be discussing about three things. All right. See, as an auditor, you should do what? You should produce and keep work documents. All right. Why? So that using those documents, you can support your conclusions and the results. Whatever result has been obtained by the audit and audit team members. All right. You have to do what? You will be keeping the work document so that you can support the conclusion and the result. All right. Now in your work document, guys, three things should be added. That it should contain only the facts. It should be written in intelligible way. All right. And it should identify the weak points. Now I'll be discussing about these three things. That contain only fact means. All right. Contain only fact means, guys, the auditor should document, all right, enough, you can say, elements of proof so that he can support the audit findings, and also he will be able to provide more and more details. All right. Why? So that it will be easy for another auditor to evaluate the evidence that are being collected. All right. In the next section, we'll be discussing that how you are going to view the peer view. It means to say that, let's suppose over here Nana did the auditing, so I will be reviewing Nana work also. Right? As an auditor, I'll be reviewing it. So the documents that you'll be creating, first thing is you'll be including all the proof to support the audit findings, and also you will be including so much detail so that it will be easy for me, although I will not be the part of auditing, but it will be easy for me to evaluate the evidence. Second thing is, guys, shall be written in intelligible way. All right. It means to say that your Word document should be brief and precise. All right. And second thing is, whatever you'll be writing in the work document, it should be easily understood by another auditor. Another auditor means who is not the part of this auditing team. All right. But he will be able to understand everything that is written in that work document. All right. And if possible, guys, in auditing, many of the auditors do what? They write in point format. All right. Point one, point two, point. All right. That is the good approach. Third is identify the weak points. All right. So work documents will be doing what? With the help of work documents, guys, you can easily identify the weak points of the management that you have audited, and also you will be writing down the evidences and arguments for non-conformity findings. Whatever non-conformity you have find out, you'll be doing what? You, along with the evidences, you'll be writing it down in the work doc. So these three things should be included in work doc. All right. Now talking about the next thing, that is, guys, work document example. All right. Now this is the example of your work document. Let me just quickly go ahead. All right, this is just an example, all right, that has been mentioned. Now, guys, every certification authority have their own work document templates. All right. If I talk about 1911, all right, ISO 1911 standard, it does not have a specific template of its own. But other certification bodies, all right, they do what? They ask the auditor to follow a specific template. All right, that was being developed by the certification body, and you will be doing what? You'll be following all the procedures in that. All right, but over here, guys, it's just an example of work document. So over here, column, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 columns, right? So talking about column number 1 and column number 2, that is clauses and controls. All right. So in this column, you'll be doing what? The auditor will be indicating the requirement of the standard with references clauses. All right. In column 1 and 2, you'll be doing what? You will be indicating the requirement of standard with the references clauses. You can say third column is the audit procedure. So in this, you will be doing what? You will be indicating the audit procedures that you will be using to collect the evidences. All right. Column number 4 is owner of the, you can say owner of controls. So in this, guys, the auditor indicates the audited controls owner name and function. It means that you will be mentioning the organization name or a particular person name, that is the owner of that particular control. All right, that you are looking, all right, in your audit. Then column number 5 includes audit notes. All right, so in this, the auditor will be doing what, guys? He will be entering the result of the audit test. Whatever test you have performed, all right, you will be doing what? You will be indicating over. All right, whatever proof you have found, you will be doing what? You will be writing it over there. And one more thing, guys, in this audit notes, that is the 5th column, you will be writing if you have found any kind of non-conformity, you'll be indicating with a red color. All right, likewise, if you can see over here, non-conformity has been written with red color. All right, so that it can be easily identified. All right, then column number 6 is documentary reference. All right, so auditor will be drawing the list of documentary reference, guys, related to controls. All right, then column number 7 is previous interviews and dates. All right, so as an auditor, you'll be doing what? You'll be making a list of persons that have been interviewed. All right, and you will be including the name and a job function of that particular person, all right, who has the responsibility in management system. All right, other people that you can include, guys, is your technicians, your customer service agents, your security guards, HR managers. All right, all these people can also be included in the, you can say, in the column that is person interviews and along with the dates. Then we have, guys, next column that is conformity. All right, that is conformity. All right, so in this, you'll be doing what? You'll be indicating the audit finding. All right, if you have written C, all right, that is for conformity. NC means, you can say, non-conformity. NCM means minor non-conformity, and NCMA means major non-conformity. Let me write it over here in the whiteboard so that it will be easy for you to understand. All right, now in the report, in the document, if you'll be mentioning something like this, that is, you are mentioning C, it means that it is a conformity, that the organization is following all the standards, guideline, procedure that have been stated by the certification body. If the auditor will be writing something like this, that is NC, that means it's non-conformity. All right, now in non-conformity, yesterday we learned we have two kind of non-conformities, guys, that is minor and major. So if it will be a minor non-conformity, so along with NC you will be indicating M. All right, that is minor non-conformity. Whereas if the auditor have written something like this, NC, and then he has mentioned MA, all right, it means that it is major non-conformity. All right, apart from that, the last column will be doing what, guys? In this, the auditor will be doing what? It will be, you can say, writing the date and his signature. If the auditor is a, you can say, is a reviewer, all right, so he will be writing his name as R. And if the auditor is a, you can say, the auditor is a preparer of this document, all right, so he will be writing P. Am I clear? P is for preparer and R is for reviewer. All right, along with date and time, you'll be doing what? You'll be entering this information. Now, talking about, you can see the next section, that is archive the audit records. All right, now the audit records may contain, guys, the audit agreement that have been signed between the auditor, auditee, and the certification body. It should be including the audit plans. All right, it should be including the organization chart, working paper, and checklists that are used in the audits, interviews and observation notes, correspondence, audit test plans, audit test and their results, and evaluation of the results. All right. So what does your audit record, guys? Audit record is the entire documentation, all right, of the information collected based on audit activities. Whatever you have done, all right, that will be including your audit records. All right. Now, guys, audit records are kept. All right. Audit records are kept with the auditors till the time the audit is not completed. All right. Later on, they can be archived or they can be destroyed, depending upon the, you can say, depending upon the agreement you have signed with the, you can say, with the audit. All right. Whatever document you have signed, either you'll be taking the possession of that particular documents, or you will be doing what? You'll be destroying those particular documents, those particular records. All right, so that should be mentioned. Apart from that, guys, you can say as a part of auditors team. All right, as a member of auditors team, guys, you should be responsible for ensuring, all right, a good level of protection of the auditee's confidential information that is contained in audit records. See, audit records is containing everything, right, that you have done from the beginning till last. All right. So you as an audit team member have to respect the confidentiality of the information. Getting my point? So it will be included in the agreement in the beginning that what you will be doing with the records. Are you going to archive them or are you going to destroy them? All right. So that is being discussed with the auditors and audit teams. Then we have next topic, guys, that is peer quality review. It means to say that one auditor checking other auditors' work to check the quality of the auditing and other things. All right. So quality review by peers is the key element in the process of audit quality management. All right. To maintain the quality of your audits, guys. All right. Many a times your peers will be reviewing your work. All right. So each auditor's work documents must be reviewed by audit team leader. Those of the audit team leader must be reviewed by another auditor. So in the case of a solo audit, the review is performed by another auditor mandated by the certification body. All right. So if you are having a team of 6 auditors, all right. So whatever you have done in auditing. So as an auditor, all right, independent auditor, I will be reviewing your work. And depending upon that, I will be giving my suggestions or my comments. All right. That is peer quality review. Am I clear? Also, guys, see, it is also said that a developer cannot be a checker, right? It's a common saying in SDLC, right? Software development life cycle. If you are a developer, you cannot be a checker. All right. Why? The reason is if you are developing an application and I'm giving you the authority to check it, obviously you'll not be able to find out the gaps, right? Second thing is, even if you'll be finding the gaps, you'll be doing what? You'll be ignoring them. All right, because you think that whatever you have created, you have done perfect work. That's why in the organization, guys, testing department is different, development department is different. All right. So whatever is developed, it is being checked by third parties. Similarly, over here also, in the upcoming section, you'll be learning what is the role of internal auditors. All right, how the internal auditors will be independent of the, we can say, overall organization work. What is the time period? Let's suppose as the organization member, I was working with management committee, right? Later on, I want to be internal auditor, so there should be certain amount of gap, round about 2 years of gap between my work as, you can say, management and the auditor. All right, so these kind of things should be included. All right. So guys, the review should always be performed by an experienced auditor. All right. So that he can do what? All right. So that he can ensure that audit procedures were used appropriately, and whatever audit procedures were used, they are reliable. All right. Apart from that, your peer review, where you can say the verification of work document, all right, will also make sure that the audit procedures were used correctly. All right. Then the sufficient amount of information was collected to support their conclusions, and whatever audit findings are there, whatever conclusions have been made, they all are logical and objective. All right. So these are the things that are verified, all right, by the other auditors about your auditing reports. Then we have, guys, that is the audit. Your team leader shall verify that audit team members followed good audit practice and established procedures. Audit evidence gathered are relevant, reliable, and sufficient. The established findings are based on solid evidences and the problem encountered were resolved. This is what, this is the quality review that is done by audit team leader. All right, then we have, guys, what are the errors that can be committed, all right, by the auditors during an audit. So we have what, we have errors frequently made by the auditors, that is using a template without erasing the previous client information. Let's suppose, guys, as I told you, many certification body use their own templates, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll be using the template, but I have not removed the information about the previous client for whom I have done the auditing. All right, that is one flaw. Second is forgetting to close a note. All right, that is you will not you just remove you just forgot to remove the date, and you can say the time, the preparer, the reviewer's name in the document. Third is forgetting to enter the information concerning the person's interview. All right, so you'll be doing what? You'll be, you forgot to mention the name of the, you can say the work role of the person that you have interviewed. All right. Then inconsistency in information gathered, whatever information you have gathered, whatever evidences you have gathered, guys, they are not consistent. All right, that is again a flaw. All right, then sampling approach is invalid or undocumented. All right, it means that you have not followed a proper sampling methods. All right, that is again a error. All right, and whatever samples you have collected, they are not valid, or you have not documented them. That is again a flaw. All right, then identification of non-confirmed documents. So these are what, guys, these are the errors that can be committed by the auditors during auditing, and they are very common. All right, they are very common, guys. But these are what, these are the errors that can be committed.